Alright, so this is my new YouTube channel. I've decided to call myself the Counterculturalist, for reasons that you'll probably figure out as the video goes on. And I'm going to talk about my movie collection today. We decided to go with specifically the Blu-ray collection. So we are going to go by release date, earliest first. And first, we have I Drink Your Blood, which came out in, I believe, 71. Yep. It's a very classic, drive-in type horror movie. Very cheesy, very sleazy. We've got some nice vomit-covered hippies and blood-covered, I guess, is the more important part, in the head with a shitty fake head on the back cover. I had already seen this when I got it. The reason I really got it was for I Eat Your Skin, which was the second movie, because it's a double feature. It's actually a triple feature, but the third movie I have not watched yet, and I forget the name of. I believe I got this from Grindhouse, and it is a great release. I really like it. I really like the little booklet in here with some fun facts about the movie and some pictures. Is there any particularly interesting pictures in here? Not really. And I've always liked the cover to this movie, too. It has nothing to do with anything that actually happens in the movie, as far as I can remember. But it looks cool as hell. Next. Probably the best movie of all time. We have Texas Chainsaw Massacre, one of the movies that got me into horror and exploitation, and a lot of other people. This is one of those Walmart steel releases, and it's great. I love this. It's got a cool picture on the inside. I don't need to explain what this is really, because everyone knows it. I should actually start doing plot descriptions of the other ones, though. Sorry about that. Solomon King. This is my only blaxploitation movie, and one of the only ones I've seen. Actually, might be the only one I've seen. I'm not particularly familiar with blaxploitation cinema, even though I respect it a lot and have meant to get into it. But Solomon King, which I got from Vinegar Syndrome, it's a decently entertaining movie. It's very stupid. A man, let's just read the back. So yeah, he's a ex-CIA operative. He's trying to protect this princess who's run away from this regime that her relative, I believe, started. He's trying to protect her because they want to kill her in order to take power. And then she gets killed, and he goes and gets his revenge on this rebel group. I forget what country they were from. Pretty entertaining, stupid movie. One of the background characters has a really fat ass, and I remember that being very distracting. I believe it was the main character's brother. Joe D'Amato's Behind the Darkness. Classic Italian horror. Not a ton to say here other than that. I love this cover, and that's why I bought it. I got this from Severin. It's pretty good. It's been a while, though, so I don't really remember what happens in it very well. It has a lot of nasty shit in it. It's very sleazy, which is great. But I do not remember the plot for shit, other than I think one of the main characters is a taxidermist. That's about all I remember. And there's some sort of romantic relationship with the other killer, I think. But I don't remember. Umberto Lenzi's Cannibal Ferox. I kind of like this more than regular Cannibal Holocaust, not going to lie. Of the two movies, which are often, talked about in the same breath, or whatever phrase you want to use, I like this one a little bit more. The internal cover has titties on it, so I will cover that with my finger. And yeah. A bunch of kids, they go into the forest. They get picked off and killed by this native tribe, and then they discover much like in Cannibal Holocaust, that the reason that they are cannibals and the reason that they are so fucked up is because of intervention from other people. And like I feel like a lot of old jungle exploitation movies, it's stupid and racist most of the time, but at the core of it, I think that's a pretty accurate message to what kind of happened in a lot of those cases. John Carpenter's The Thing. Don't need to talk about this. A bunch of fucking scientists are in Antarctica, and they get killed by an alien. And it is generally considered one of the best movies of all time. I agree. It's very, very, very good. It's a very spooky, scary movie, and I love it. Another legendary movie that is generally considered to be one of the best, we have Evil Dead 2. What was that beeping? I have no clue. We have Evil Dead 2, and it's a very funny but also very gross movie. My favorite scene in this is the only one that I have the slip for too, which is nice. My favorite scene in this will always be the part where he's kind of losing it and the deer heads on the wall are laughing at him. I love that scene. And also the scene where he watches his dead girlfriend and she's like a zombie and she's dancing around in the woods. Great classic movie. Go watch it. Tetsuo the Iron Man, and also Body Hammer. I have not seen the sequel, Body Hammer, which came with this, but I have seen the first one, and it's amazing. For a long time, this was my favorite movie, maybe not as much anymore. But, great movie. Unfortunately, this, which I did, again, get from Grindhouse, I didn't look into this, but apparently it is in the wrong region for my Blu-ray player, which sucks. So I can't actually watch it on this. I've seen it elsewhere, though, and it's amazing. Next, the thing that started this whole collection, which is Fuck the Devil and Fuck the Devil 2, Return of the Fucker. But the first one came out in 1990 and the second in 91. It's made by some kids, but it's about this guy who is possessed. It's a German film. It's about this guy who is possessed by a haunted copy of Evil Dead 2, I believe. And there's some like alternate covers and stuff in here. I've always loved the cover to this one. And again, this is what started my whole collection. I saw it on a website. I found it on a website. I couldn't find out where to watch it at all. And so that is what led me to the world of movies that are really hard to find and that you have to buy Blu-rays from Grindhouse for. And I have never come back from that. Next up, we have Army of Darkness. Another Evil Dead movie. I don't have the first. I mean, I have the illegally burned DVD of the first, but that doesn't count. This one's probably the goofiest of the original like 3 movies, because I haven't seen any of the remakes or anything yet. I'll probably get to that. But this one's like very silly. It's barely even a horror movie. It's mostly a comedy. It's great though. He goes back in time, and Ash fights off the Deadites, but in like medieval times, and there's like a war kind of thing that goes on. Second Vinegar Syndrome purchase, the first one being Solomon King, of course, is Vile 21, which I think came out in 91 or something. I'm gonna look. Does it say? Somewhere in the 90s, I don't remember. Very low budget, shot on video monster movie. About this guy who has to fight off this mutant thing. The mutant thing doesn't show up until like halfway through the movie, meaning most of it is just boring bullshit. But when it does show up, it's great, and you should probably watch it. It's not a good movie, but it's pretty good, and that doesn't make sense. It's not a good movie, but you should still watch it, I think. And I don't think that should deter you from checking it out, because it's still very entertaining. Next, something that is completely unlike anything else in this collection, Howl's Moving Castle. I keep forgetting that the webcam is over here, and I look at myself on that camera. Anyways, Howl's Moving Castle. It's a Studio Ghibli movie. I got this to watch with my sister. It's great. They make great stuff. Not usually the stuff I watch, but it's still great stuff. Not much needs to be said about their movies, though. The Theater Bazaar from Severin. One of two movies I got from Severin. It's a collection of shorts. I made the somewhat questionable decision of watching this with my dad. But it's pretty good. It's pretty fucked most of the time. There's some it's an insane collection. There's the one where the girl is like injecting people's eyes into her eye is fucked. The one that's basically just like weird fetish shit for like, I forget, like probably 20 minutes is fucked. All of these are fucked. But I love them and they're pretty good. You should check them out. I really don't like the one with the food at the end, because food stuff always bothers me. I don't care about gore, but food, I don't like food on the floor and stuff like that. I have sensory issues when it comes to that stuff. Shin Godzilla 2016. I am a huge Godzilla fan. I have the tattoo. And this is one of my favorite Godzilla movies. Probably the best modern one. He looks cool as hell in this movie, and the scene where he destroys the city with his fire breath is one of my favorite scenes in any movie ever. Holy shit, it is so fucking sick. Most of you probably already seen this movie, but if you haven't, check it out. It's great. Next, we have a blind Walmart purchase, yet another of the metal ones. One Cut of the Dead. It's like a zombie comedy, but not really, because the zombies aren't real in the movie. It's about the creation of a zombie movie that kind of goes wrong, and no like supernatural stuff even really happens. It's kind of it's pretty much just a straight comedy that takes place on the set of a movie. But it's pretty neat, and there's some creative stuff going on. Like the whole bit is that he has to create it in one shot, and they do that. They have really long shots. They do end up doing the actual zombie movie portion of this in one shot, and it's really neat actually. It's a pretty decent movie. There's some interesting stuff going on there. Not something I would usually watch, but I bought it because I liked the cover, and it was a blind buy again. So, Terrifier 2. Most of you this has been talked about to death. I feel like both the Terrifier movies have completely undecided on which one I like better. I like them both a lot for different reasons. Hot Topic has, of course, ruined these movies, in my opinion. But they're still good. And this one's very brutal. I can't really decide if I love or hate the weird kind of B movie side plot with the main character. But Art the Clown is a great villain, and that's all that really matters about these movies. And the last one on here, 2021, I think. Nope, 2023. I was very wrong. Murder Size. And here's the back cover. This is a nice little incredibly sleazy movie where that takes place on the set of an exercise video where this one girl who's very conservative, who got involved in the exercise video, doesn't like the fact that it's kind of sexual, and she kills all of the others, and it takes place in the 80s, and it's great. Anything that makes fun of Ronald Reagan to any extent is great. It's very entertaining. It has titties, which are great. It came with a picture of a butt that is on my wall, and it is over there, so I'm not going to bother going to get it because I would have to walk through a bunch of stuff, but that's great. And I really like that movie. But anyways, that's my last movie. This has been a tour of my Blu-rays. There will be more coming in soon, because I just bought a bunch from Grindhouse because they had a sale recently on Synapse and Impulse releases. So I'll probably do an update at some point. I'll also, when I've caught up on my DVDs, I'll definitely do a DVD tour because that would probably be a bit more interesting because it's a bit more varied, that collection, and bigger. Anyways, if you want me to do a more in-depth review of any of these movies, please comment that below. And like and subscribe and all that bullshit. Peace out.